This is NJ, your host on this channel. So we will discuss now the special signs and their significance on the Mount of Saturn. A quick recap of all what we have studied on Mount so far. So Mount are these puffed portions at the bottom of the fingers. They hold a very important significance in palmistry as well as in our lives. So medically, this mounts can also be defined as these are the like the network of the nerves, and their center is called as the apex. Like the way I've made one video on the hand and mind connection, that our hand contains major nerves, major portion of the nerves, like more than 2 million nerve fibers are present on the hand from the brain, like then it is more than any part of the body. So these mounts can also be termed as the network of the nerves, and their center is known as the apex of the mount. So we have studied that if this apex of the mount is at towards the finger, then this will be considered as very well developed and very good sign. If this apex of the mount is at the bottom of the mount, this apex triradi, this is what I am talking about. So if this apex triradi, which is very easy to diagnose and detect on a rough and coarse hand, if you will find that at the bottom of the mount, then this will be considered as not a very prominent mount, and if it is at the center, then it can be seen as a normal mount. So, and the special signs which we are going to discuss now, and the hardness and the flexibility. So if you press the mount and if it is taking time to come back to its normal state, so that means that this mount is very flexible, which is not a good sign. And let's say if you are pressing this mount and it is very quickly coming back to its original state, then it means it is a hard mount, which is also a very good sign. So we have discussed all of that from medical point of view. I have explained it to you. The metaphysical explanation for the mounts, or the Vedic explanation for the mount, is that they hold very special significance. They are the reason, they carry the reason of our creation. They are so important that many palmists have even gone to the extent of denoting them as the presence of the divine, the superconscious divinity in our life. So that's all on the brief introduction about the mounts, what they are, where they are placed. Now comes the Mount of Saturn. So Mount of Saturn represents your sobriety, your wisdom, your sense of judgment, sense of right and wrong, your capacity to do planning, solitude, loneliness. In negative cases, it could just make someone full of resentment, melancholy, full of depression, suicidal thoughts. So these are the basic archetype traits of this Mount of Saturn. So like the way we have been studying all the mounts separately in detail, so the next part is understanding and learning these special signs. So what will happen when you will see these signs on the Mount of Saturn? First of all, like the way you people know that in palmistry, the fundamental principle is that these lines and these special signs are not permanent. Their arrival tells about the news of the upcoming event, the happening of an event. So these lines tell about the subconscious thought process. They tell about the happening of the event. So first of all, in order to understand what these signs would mean if found on this particular mount, you need to first understand the archetype qualities of these signs. So starting from the first, which is star. Star means the intensification of energy. It can also mean illumination, and in its negative state it can also mean explosion. Then comes the cross. Cross is a negative sign, which means obstruction. Then comes the circle. Circle has got very double significance. In some cases, in some regions of the hand, it is considered good, and in some regions, it is considered as very bad. Then comes the square. The one word to describe this sign, square, is protection. Wherever it is found, it just protects the attributes and the significance of that particular area. Then comes the triangle. Triangle tells about the mental acumen, your intelligence, your mental qualities. Then comes the net. Net is the sign of confusion, it's a sign of irritations, it is a sign of being your health on a radar. Then comes the mole. Mole in Vedic palmistry is not considered good anywhere on the hand. So mole, which is also known as til in Hindi, is a negative sign. Then comes your trident. Trident is a very good sign. Like the way you can see, single vertical line is considered very good in palmistry on the palm. So this line is being diverted into two more arms. So this trident tells about someone who is very versatile, who has got very exceptional talent. Then comes the island. Island is also loss of energy. So we have understood the archetype qualities of these signs. We have also understood about this particular mount. Now comes the part what will happen when these signs will be found on this particular mount. So see, first of all, I just need to make you guys clear that I'm going to give a very metaphysical and very occult specific explanation on this. What is written in our ancient scriptures, the Samudik Shastra. So I might not be in a state to explain each and every point in detail, but trust me on this, my friend. Whatever I have, what I'm going to explain to you guys, what I'm going to teach you guys, I have found this 99% true in my research in different and hundreds of palms which I have like analyzed and done a consultation in my career. So beginning with the sign of star. So let's say if you'll find sign of star over here. So to begin with, sign of star, like the way when I was telling you people the archetype qualities of the star, I have already explained to you guys that this sign can also mean illumination, and its negative state, this sign can also mean explosion. And you know, when you are studying the Mount of Saturn, you need to remain very careful because this is a very peculiar area of the palm. All the suicidal tendencies, depression, melancholy is all seen from this particular area. All the mental disorders are also seen from here. So this sign is a negative sign on the Mount of Saturn. This is not considered a good sign. So the kind of archetype qualities which we can expect is like this person would remain to be very much vulnerable to defame and towards accidents, and even the they could also become very much vulnerable to murder accusations. So this is all what is like written in our ancient scriptures, that if you will find a star on the Mount of Saturn, then these people could be implicated or tried for murder accusations. Along with they remain very much vulnerable to the accidents and the defame. So this is all what I can explain if you will find a star on the Mount of Saturn. So this is the first sign. Then comes the second sign, which is sign of cross. So cross is in any case a negative sign. On the Mount of Saturn, it is not considered good sign. So if you'll find an arrival of a cross on the Mount of Saturn, be it in your hand or in some other person's hand. So what is written in our scriptures in the Samudik Shastra about this is that these people would remain to be infertile. These people would remain to be the knower of the occult sciences. So this person would remain familiar, would remain aware, and would remain an expert in the field of occult, but he would use that for all the wrong reasons only. He will not use for that the goodwill or for the goodness of the humanity. He will going to use it for the fulfillment of his evil motives. So the first point would remain to be this person could be infertile. This person would use the occult sciences, the knowledge of occult sciences, for all the negative reasons. And you know, this sign is also tells about someone having very blind faith, and like someone doing like circumstances just make this person do action against his self desire. So he might run into those situations when he has to take steps or he has to do certain acts in the society which he is not willing to. On the due to the force, due to the pressure, he is being made to do things against his wish. So these are the signs, the outcomes which we can expect if we find a cross on the Mount of Saturn. The symptom of infertility, you're doing action against self-desire, blind faith, and it is also about misusing the knowledge of occult sciences, and so this is a blind faith. So that all we have studied. Now comes the third part, which is circle. So circle is an exception over here because majority of the cases and majority of the areas of the palm, this sign is considered as good, as bad. But here on the Mount of Saturn, this sign is considered as good. So if you'll find an arrival of the sign of circle on the Mount of Saturn, that this is an indication, then this person could just get success in whatsoever venture he is engaged in that particular point of time, as well as it is also sign of gaining sudden monetary gains. So sudden monetary gains as well as sign of success if you'll find a circle on the Mount of Saturn. Then comes our another sign, which is the sign of square. So the sign of square is in any case considered as good. It is a sign of protection. So if you'll find the sign of square on the Mount of Saturn, so this means that this person would remain protected from any accidents, as well as this is also sign of having financial gains in the old age. So these are the two qualities which we can expect if you'll find a sign of square on the Mount of Saturn. Then comes our another sign, which is sign of triangle. So like the way I explained to you guys when we were discussing the archetype qualities of these signs. So I explained to you people that the sign of triangle means your intelligence, your mental acumen, so your intellect. So on the Mount of Saturn, the sign of triangle means having the knowledge of occult. These people possess the all knowledge of tantra, mantra, all the spiritual subjects. So these people just master in any kind of spiritual pursuits. Along with that, these people also like they, because of the archetype qualities of the Mount of Saturn, which remains to be solitude and loneliness and deep research. So this person would remain to be little bit vulnerable towards solitude as well, because in order to gain the spiritual mastery on the spiritual field, you need to just remain bit diverted and bit out of your social circle and social life. So this person would remain to be little bit in solitude, but as well as this is a sign of mastery on tantra, mantra, spirituality, as well as these people remain to elevate to the position of any spiritual throne. So these people could, if you find a sign of triangle on the Mount of Saturn, so this is also also tells about the possibility of someone elevating to the level of a spiritual leader. So these are the signs which we can expect, the events which we can expect if we'll find a sign of triangle on the Mount of Saturn. Then comes another sign, which is the sign of net. So this sign is not considered as good on the Mount of Saturn, because in any case Mount of Saturn is remain to be a very volatile when it comes to your mental state, your balanced state of mind. So if you will find a sign which already means too much of confusion, and that too on the Mount of Saturn, then this means what is written in our ancient scriptures, that this person would remain to be vulnerable to the death due to poison. This person would always remain to be suspicious towards his towards his relationships, as well as specifically with his or her spouse. So if you'll have, if a man has a sign of Grille on his Mount of Saturn, that this indicates the possibility that this person would remain suspicious towards the character of his wife. And this sign also tells about financial trouble. This sign also tells about suicidal tendencies. This also tells about defame. So these are the signs which we could, events which you could expect if you find the sign of Grille on the Mount of Saturn. Then comes our another sign, which is black mole, which is till. So like the way I even started my video on this, that Mount of Saturn is very peculiar and you need to be very stringent, because the signs which we are discussing, like the net is already considered a negative sign, and if it is found on the a very volatile mount, so that is going to give negative results only. Same is the case with black mole. Black mole, which is also known as till, is in any case considered as negative sign. So if you'll find a mole on the Mount of Saturn, so what is written in our ancient Samudik Shastra is that this person would can get defamed because of his love matters, and this also tells about the possibility that this person could just commit suicide if he face any a failure in his love affairs or in his love pursuits, as well as it also tells about very bad luck. So if at the time when this sign has arrived on someone's palm, so this person needs to remain very watchful of his behaviors. If he is going to invest his money in some new ventures, or if he is going to commit to someone and get into a relationship, that this person has to remain very watchful, because this sign is an archetype indication of bad luck. Also in our ancient scriptures it is also written that this person also would remain to be vulnerable to the fire accidents. So black mold we have discussed. Then comes another sign, which is the sign of trident. So this sign is considered as very good over here. The sign of trident, this tells about someone who has like this person would remain to be this person would remain very much eligible for the sudden money gains. Also this is a sign that this person could get mastery over all the knowledge of tantra, all the occult pursuits, as well as this sign is also indicates that someone if get into politics, be it of any kind, whether it's an office politics or it's your resident welfare association politics or it's your state community politics, then this sign just indicates that this person could progress and could get success in any of the political pursuit. So this is about the sign of trident. Then comes our last sign, which is the sign of island. So if you find this kind of appearance of this kind of sign, which is in any case considered as negative sign, the archetype quality of sign of island is loss of energy, loss of resistance. So this tells about someone who is this person would face too much of struggles in his life, and this also indicates a bad luck as well as struggle, and someone who would have this sign would remain to be very self-centered in all his pursuits, whether it's in his relationship with his colleagues or in any of this domain of his life. This person would remain to be very self-centered. So we have discussed all the signs, and one more time I just want to make this thing very clear, like the way it happens in astrology. The placement of planet in one sign or in one house never tells the whole picture. You need to study it from all the angles. Then you need to just funnel down all the information, and then you need to land to one conclusion. Same is the case with palmistry. I am teaching you guys about the basics of the palmistry. At the end, you people need to accumulate all the information, judge the hand from all the angles, then you need to land to one conclusion and make some conclusion regarding someone's personality or about the happening of an event. And like the way I always say, the basic modifiers which always remains to be the texture of the skin, the color of the hand, the type of the hand. So let's say the arrival of a negative hand, that too in a negative hand, the hand is already negative, the texture of the skin is rough, the skin is coarse, color is black or too red. So that is going to just amplify things, and that would ensure the happening of the event. So the remedies which I am just making in all my videos, that you need to recite the mantras, you need to do worship. So these signs could just be averted. The possibility of the negative events can be avoided, can be averted. These signs, that is the only reason why I just take refuge and I appreciate and worship palmistry more than any other form of meta science, because palmistry just explains and proves that your destiny is not predetermined. Just by change in your thought process, change in your attitude, change in your behavior, the lines of your palm can be changed, and a harmonious life can be lived. So I hope you guys found this video informational. For further more updates and notification on palmistry, please subscribe my channel and like my Facebook page. Thanks.